Why is Washington State going ghetto? Senate candidate Matthew Heines talks to you about the small community of Redmond, Washington outside of Microsoft, where Bill Gates and the Microsoft Corporation have imported thousands and thousands of Indians and Chinese who have developed the region using Chinese money and basically replaced an entire population. Is this your future as well? Are you going to spend the rest of your life in a millennial coffin? Coming up next on Deceptions of the Ages News. Hello everybody, and welcome to Deceptions of the Ages News. I would like to thank everybody, of course, for subscribing. I'm getting more and more subscribers every day, and it is really nice that you guys are interested in not only the information that we put out here on Deceptions of the Ages News, which has to deal with Mormons, quote unquote Mormons, Freemasons, and extraterrestrials. Okay, I want to first of all explain to you guys that I'm in the middle of a political campaign. And so if it offends you that I use some of my material that I use for my campaign in my videos, please leave it in the comments below if you don't like it. If you do like it, I'd like to hear that also. The thing is that during my political campaign, I'm out to educate the people I want to vote for me and the people that I'm trying to help. So I cannot educate them and tell them how I can help them and do a full-time or as many Deceptions of the Ages News videos as I've been doing, because I just don't have the time to do it. So I also have, things going on behind the scenes with dealing with the state of Washington. And so I am very much swamped for time. So if you really are annoyed by me talking about my campaign or me posting videos from my campaign on this site, then that's fine. I have my Matthew Heines for Senate website, so just go to that one and watch. You can watch the videos there. But if you do like watching these videos, and you do like being updated on the campaign, and you do like being updated on the topics that I'm talking about, because I see the other candidates around the country and nobody has any new ideas. It's all the same thing. So I feel sorry for people who don't have me to vote for, but I have a lot of great new ideas. And so if you like my ideas, if you like my campaign, please leave the comments in the post below. And please stay tuned to my channel. And if you don't like to see my campaign updates on this channel, I don't plan on doing very many of them, but if I see a topic like this one today that's important, I will post it. All right, enough said. Please watch the rest of this video. Thanks again for subscribing, and I'll see you at the end of the video. Hey everybody, I'm Matthew Heines. I'm running for the 1st Congressional District Senate seat in Washington State. Right now I'm standing in lovely downtown Redmond, Washington, because I want you to take a look at one of the biggest environmental disasters and your future that is appearing and is happening right now. Now look behind me. As far as you can see, these are what I call millennial coffins, because the rent is so high that once you move into these places, unless you own your own business, you're never going to have your own house. So as far as the eye can see, you have millennial coffins here. Here. And if you'll hold on for just a minute, I'll show you some more. And as you can see, all over here, and as you go down that street, there's even more construction. So if you look this way, so all millennial coffins, as far as you can see. So what is the problem with all this? Isn't it great that just people are making so much money? Well, not exactly, because the people making money off of these projects are mostly Chinese. And the people that are living in these projects, they're not Americans. These are the people that Bill Gates and Microsoft is bringing over from India and China, because they won't hire American workers. So they're bringing these people over here to live in Chinese condos. They're Chinese and Indians, and so they're going to just live here and become American citizens, and we don't even know who they are. And thanks to people like Maria Cantwell, we have an overabundance now of Muslims, and we don't know who they are. We don't know what kind of people they are. They're just filling up this whole area because Washington State seems to be an open area for Muslims. Well, that's going to stop, because we need to find out who's coming into this country, and we need to be sure that these people are going to be safe. And I can tell you right now, this is not the best way to do it. So these are the Millennial condos in Redmond, Washington. They're in your town, they're in your city, and it all has to do with people making as much money as they can off people who will never get out of debt, who will always be some kind of peon. So now let's go and take a look up the road at one of the bigger problems with all of this development. All right, so check it out. From the $1 million, $1 million for a stick house. So this is the kind of world that we're getting into. So you're going to have the option in the future, or now, which is the future, and that is $1 million house that you're going to have to spend the rest of your life paying for, and we'll probably never get it paid off. And God help us if the market crashes. Or you can have the option of living down in one of the Millennial condos, and this is going to be for the lower wage earners that cannot afford the $1 million house. So they'll constantly be paying rent, and these people will constantly be paying rent to a bank. So in the future, everybody is going to be in debt. Now, as a candidate, I don't want to see you in debt. I want to do things that will make the economy grow, and we need to really put a curb on how much of this money is being allowed in the country and how many people are being brought into this country, because it's all a simple matter of economics. The market will bear whatever people are willing to pay. So if they're coming from China with all of this worthless scrip that they get because they manipulate their currency and we don't, then they can afford to buy these houses. Not only can they afford to buy them, they can afford to buy these millennial coffin developments, and they can just make millions and millions of dollars off of this. So it's really not fair to the American people. And what is even worse is when our president, we finally get a president who says, I'm going to stick up for you, and all of the people in Congress, these Democrats, these delusional people who are responsible for this mess, they sit there and fight him. And if you don't believe that they're responsible for this mess, let me tell you a little story. In 2005, I watched Patty Murray sit in a Senate meeting, and with them was a national security advisor. And he said, we are not in danger so much from Al-Qaeda or from terrorists, we are in danger from debt. And the only thing we do anymore is build these houses and tear up our land. And everything that we have that was given to us is just being destroyed. And I watched Patty Murray, who is my opponent's senior senator, say, oh, well, we appreciate your hard work, but right now is not the time. Now, this is in 2005. So since then, that's 13 years, we have done nothing but import people we don't know. We have overpopulated the United States. We have trashed all of the good places that were given to us and that we should have passed on to our children. But no, what we're doing is things like this. We're tearing up the good land. Well, I'm going to put a stop to it. This is not necessary, and we don't need to have every person in the world living in the Northwest. So I'm going to stop it. Now, right now, I'm going to take you down. I'm going to show you the last part of this equation. And that is, how do you get to work? So not only have they created an environmental disaster and torn up the future for our children, this is the other mistake that they've made. when they sold all of these properties and they gave out all these building permits, not one person ever asked, well, how are these people ever going to get to work? So right now we're looking at their solution. Now this road has been this way for years, and every morning traffic just crawls along here until they get to 520. So what they have to do is they have to go through Redmond, which is now becoming a basically ghetto, and so it's going to be full of dangerous people. And so the only answer is you come from your $1 million house, but then you gotta drive through the ghetto to get to work. And nobody thought this through. So this is a little what you call a stopgap method. And what they're doing right here is on this road that goes all the way to Woodinville, which is about 5 or 6 miles that way. Oh, what are they going to do? They're going to widen here, okay? Now there's nothing there, there's just the side of a cliff. So this project is going to cost millions and millions of dollars. And what's it going to do? Because it's still 2 lanes that way, and past this it's going to be 2 lanes. So for years and years, they're going to have to keep widening this and tearing up the road. And either way, they still have to drive into Redmond, where they're going to be driving right through a ghetto just to get to work. Now, if I'm living in the ghetto, and I know people are paying $1 million for a house, and I'm living in a condo or an apartment I can barely afford, well, I might be tempted to go out and take some of their money to help me pay my rent. This is another huge mistake from this massive urban sprawl brought on to us by the Democrats. So they have no answers, they have no solutions, they're just taking in money and taking in money, and they don't care about you and they don't care about me, because they're going to be living in the $1 million houses someplace where this is never ever going to affect them. Well, I say it's wrong, and I say we've had enough. So I'm going to do something about this. All right, well, how about that? Millennial Coffins, Chinese script, and it looks like the Northwest is just getting destroyed by these people in the DNC. We'll see you next time on Deceptions of the Ages News.